Have you ever wondered what it's like to work with a professional architect and interior design firm? Today we're in Ybor City at Chancey Architecture and Interior Design. They've been here for over 30 years, and today they're going to show us about their systems and processes.
Welcome to Chancey Architecture and Interior Design.
Every project starts as a conversation. The Chancey team sits down with their clients to understand their vision, their lifestyle, and the function of the space they want to create.
Processes always begin at listening. We have to really take the first several meetings to make sure we hear. When people come to us, they might have a vision of the home, of the style, but what they don't have is the understanding of what all that makeup is. So we bring the interior designers and the architects to the very first meetings. That home is really designed from the inside out.
You think of something immediately and you want to walk over and run that detail or that concept or understand it a little bit better, how it mixes and blends and develops with the architecture. It's great to walk over and have that excitement between the two of you. So we really, really enjoy our relationship, which we feel is very unique.
If you really can sit down and just talk to them, what do you do in the morning? What's your routine? Some are introverts, some are extroverts, some love privacy, some love open. So if you don't understand all that, you can't design the best space for them. I think it's so important that we as architects and designers don't get ahead of ourselves and start designing someone's home once we have a little information without their involvement every step of the way, because at the end of the day, it's their home and we're the tools that they are using to create that dream.
Once the team understands the client's goals, it's time to lay the groundwork. This stage is all about research, studying the site, local building codes, and the best ways to bring the project to life.
Being an architect, interior designer, developer, and at one time owning a construction company, I've experienced it all. First of all, you've got to know there's regulatory agencies. We've got to know what can we do. Then from there, the most important thing to me, especially on a bigger site, is the site analysis. You've got to understand where's the sun rising, where's it setting at different times of the year. If I want my morning coffee in front of this window because it's wonderful eastern light, then I need to set that house up to get that morning, usually in a morning room, in a breakfast room where you want that. Does it have sunset views or afternoon? Where's my pool and outdoor sunning area? In these tight communities, we have people with gardens, with rooftop towers that overlook, so we've got to look at privacy issues. So we do a site analysis and we take the sun azimuth, we take the neighboring views, we fly drones at every level and we do 360s so that we know as we sit in this third floor space, I know when I start drawing what this view is going to be and what I'm going to see. So analyze the site, analyze your requirements before you ever start bubble diagramming where spaces should go.
With research complete, the design process moves forward. This is when ideas start to take shape and the client can visualize their future space. Through sketches, schematics, and digital models, the team refines the design until it's just right.
Oh, the fun part begins now. So we've kind of gotten a lot of this process out of the way, a lot of the programming and pulling it all together. Now when we design, it's not 2D, we design in 3D. The very first time that you present plans, we're walking through a video of the house. We walk up and down stairs. We look out windows and see what it is. And that's when the clients are just, wow. The other thing is, as we get that early on, then we're also at that time, we're starting to present the materials, the interior. So we walk through it and we talk about all those pieces. And then as we advance this project, we can then add the layer of materials to that 3 dimension. So when they look at the very final, they can see their materials, their furniture that we've selected, and everything in that model before we begin this construction of that house. I've had one client that stands up and down and claps and is just so giddy. That used to happen towards the end of construction. Now, because they really see it and feel it, they can get that joy early on, and that is so rewarding.
Once the designs are finalized, it's time to break ground. This is when the vision becomes reality, as construction crews and designers work together to bring the project to life.
One of the things that we pride ourselves on is that contractors really love to work with our group because we provide them so much information and so much detail and so much drawing that we make their job easy.
One of the important factors that we've noticed in working with Chancey Architecture and Design is that they provide a full set of details for us from interior design work all the way through mechanical engineering, and they parlay those together. So it takes a lot of that guesswork out of these custom and spec houses, and it allows us to stay true to our bid book, creating great cost controls, conforming to our construction schedules, which are obviously very, very important in the construction industry, and giving the owner, an architect, and design team what they want.
There's so much coordination and so many different disciplines, but the level of care and love for the finished product, the level of expected tolerance for the finished product is extremely high on these custom homes. Finding subcontractors that care about the product as much as we do, communicating to them how important the smaller details are, impressing on them that it really does matter. We're trying to create something that we're proud of, but at the end of the day, we want them to be proud of their work too.
So we will bring in an interview and let the client meet them in its total feel. We'll give them pros and cons of different contracts for each job, let them make the choice, but then we will work the contract and we administer that contract. So they're going, how do I know what it costs? How do I know that I'm getting a fair price? How do I know that they're gonna build it like you drew it? That's our job, and it's called the construction administration phase. We are there with an owner every step of the way, from helping him contract and getting a proper contract that's not written completely one-sided, to overseeing that process all the way through.
The final stage is where everything comes together. Furnishing, finishes, and personal touches turn a space from a construction site into a home or business ready for life to unfold.
The most important thing to remember is that at Chancey, we are able to bring a project from concept to completion. And that's what brings us into the very, very top of our profession, is we can take a project from the very, very beginning and take it all the way through to the very last detail and light the candles on the table.
There's really no greater joy than that day when you actually get to open the door and to be able to have them come in and walk them through the home and look over and see the smile on their face. That's why we do what we do.
From the first conversation to the final reveal, the journey of design is about transforming ideas into reality. This is the art of architecture. This is the work of Chancey.